Obviously, the headline news about Silicon Valley Bank going down, and what was the other one? Signature, I think, was the other one. And then there was Credit Suisse, and then this whole thing about contagion and people freaking out. And the sort of I don't know if you want to call it comical, like, oh, the FDIC insured the deposits up to 250,000, but then the federal government had to step in to secure every single dollar that could have potentially have been lost by depositors. And then this kind of I don't know if you want to call it a beat up, but the idea of, oh my God, we're in another GFC if something isn't done seriously. And in an environment where we've had, 15 years of endless money, never-ending money printing, and this kind of stimulus kind of thing going on, and all of that, and this is, a good old-fashioned bank run, particularly in the case of SVB. You kind of just sit there and you go, it doesn't. It felt shocking in 2008, and obviously, there's enough to argue that there were much bigger banks involved in that and all that sort of thing. But now it doesn't. And although SVP was probably more, in particular, was more I'll use the word boutique, but obviously it was catering to a very specific clientele as opposed to your regular day-to-day bank. But it's still the same kind of thing, isn't it? That it's just similar patterns emerging, I guess would be the way to put it.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. It's and I think you've hit the nail on the head. It just seems like, oh, yeah, okay. And yet there's media hysteria about it, like every time, and they're, now linking it to interest rates, maybe it'll give us a breather, and the contagions that could take us all down. And, they put a number of protections in over the last 15 years to avoid this. Look, there's only one way to tell if any of the stuff that they've done is going to work, and that's by us going through another financial crisis of sorts. So we'll have to wait and see now. But I just wish the media would calm down more than anything else. I'm not that worried at the moment because, from my perspective, it's all someone else's money.
Yeah, exactly. But that you hit I mean, we've had a bit of a running narrative around the media and how they tend to hype things up, and there's. And you do get that, like they blast this over the airwaves, and you think, oh, is there something wrong with my bank? Or like someone who isn't maybe as informed or doesn't pay attention as much, and they just see this blaring headline, and they might start to freak out or whatever, and it causes unnecessary angst, for people.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, look at the panic in Australia, at any rate, that's been whipped up around interest rates over the last 6 months, and I just don't think it really is very helpful to continually raise panic. I mean, people need to know what's going on, sure, and if there is a danger, we need to know that as well. And if there is, a guarantee that the government needs to give, let them give it. But I don't think we need to turn it into like, we're all going down on the Titanic every time anything unusual happens, or usual happens, just doesn't happen frequently.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a boy cried wolf situation. And then, which is maybe where we might end up being, like with the media anyway, which has led to so much loss of credibility over time.
Well, I tend to agree with you. I'm almost wondering now if the stuff they're screaming about is the stuff that won't actually get us in the end, and it'll be something else that, everyone was looking in the other direction where all the talk and panic was, and something else sneaks up right behind us. And that's what does the financial system in.
Absolutely. I did find a lot of what I did find fascinating about the fact that it was just a good old-fashioned bank run, and that just some really poor decisions were made in terms of investing depositors' money. And I just thought it was an interesting story, and another cautionary tale in the sense that, any bank could end up in this position if not managed appropriately. I think in today's world, you'd think, this is so well, I won't say regulated, but banking's been a part of us for, forever, it would seem, hundreds of years or whatever. And you would think, nah, surely it can't happen. And all it takes is, some poor management or some a lack of insight, to see where things could be going. And you end up with something like this.
It's unbelievable. When people want their money back, they want it back. And if that all happens at once and you get a real run, then, if you're owed money and you don't have it, or if they don't have it, then you've got a problem.
Yeah, and I was kind of joking before about, having multiple bank accounts now just to spread the risk.
It might not be such a bad idea. You might want to shove your crypto in your mattress or something.
I was about to say that's the next step, chucking the money under the mattress again. Who would have thought?
That's right, but if you can't trust the financial system, then you've got a real issue.